What's up, everybody? Welcome to Sector for Nerds. Today we're here to have a chat about Ahsoka Part 4. But first up, make sure you guys like this video and subscribe to the channel. Help me reach 1,000 subscribers here on this channel. It would mean the world to me. Also, head over to my other YouTube channel called Top 10 Character Moments and subscribe there as well. Subscribing to my channels is free and it really helps support me as a content creator. Thank you all so much. Oh my gosh, you guys, this episode was amazing. How great has this show been so far? Personally, I have really been loving it. And I feel like the big thing that I want to talk about to start, and probably the thing that everybody's going to want to be talking about, is the very end of this episode. So obviously, spoilers are free game. You guys know how it works here on my channel. So if you haven't seen the episode, go and watch it and then come back and watch this video. But that ending, you guys, holy crap. Oh, I'm so excited for next week. When Ahsoka woke up in the world between worlds and I'm like, how did she get there? I'm like, did someone pull her through again like the way Ezra did? Or what happened? And all of a sudden I hear, hey, Snips. And I went, oh, and your boy started to get a little emotional. She turns around and there's her master standing right there in the world between worlds. Not as a Force ghost, but as his Revenge of the Sith kind of human self. But then it just makes me start asking the questions like, okay, how did Anakin find the world between worlds, number one? Number two, if he did find the world between worlds, how would he not have access to it again later? Like if this is a past version of Anakin. But I think the next episode, Dave's going to answer a lot of our questions. And of course, Dave is directing the next episode because it's going to have all the Anakin Ahsoka stuff in it. Next week is going to very much center on those two and have little to nothing with Sabine and everybody else. But Anakin has a lot of explaining to do. There's a lot of conversation that has to go down, and I'm very, very excited for it. I was curious about the decision to not do Anakin Force Ghost, because I don't know, in my head that felt like it would have made a little more sense, but again, I'm waiting to see what Dave explains to us next week. But there was a lot more that happened in this episode besides just the Anakin Ahsoka stuff. We had several big lightsaber battles in this episode. We saw Sabine versus Shin again. We saw Ahsoka versus the Inquisitor that's there. And Ahsoka kills him with one move. And then he kind of like fades away. It kind of felt like the Night Sister magic that we see like used to like buff up Savage, right? Because then when Savage dies, the magic goes away. I think it was kind of the same thing here. So it kind of makes me curious about who this dude was. And then we had Ahsoka versus Baylan. My man Baylan had the moves in this episode. He was going crazy. And this is all like for the battle of the map, right? Like Ahsoka tries to get the map, and once she does, like it burns her hand. And that's where the tide kind of turns. But I'm not gonna lie, when Ahsoka got thrown off the cliff and Sabine was there and talked about destroying the map or, you know, giving it to Baylan, I thought for a second she was gonna destroy it because Ahsoka says earlier in the episode, sometimes we have to make the right decisions even though they don't always, what's the right word? Go along with what it is that we're trying to do. You get what I'm saying? I thought those words were gonna stick with her, but no, I was wrong. She ends up giving the map over to Baylan because, you know, Ezra's too important. But Baylan did say something in this episode that now has me curious about Sabine's backstory, because he said that her family was destroyed on Mandalore. So is that to imply then that they were destroyed during the Night of 1,000 Tears, perhaps? Like when they did that big bombing of the dome that we see in the Book of Boba Fett? Could that have been when they died? So yeah, we've definitely got questions on the Sabine side of things too that need answered. I also am very curious to see what Baylan's intentions are, because he even said to Ahsoka in this episode, like, look, I'm not here trying to start a war. Now, Thrawn definitely will when he returns, but that's not what I'm after. So it just makes me wonder, what is he after? I'm not gonna lie though, I was like, oh no, like what's gonna happen to our heroes here? Because when they're talking about making the jump to hyperspace, I'm like, if they make the jump here, they're gonna go right through all those ships. And sure enough, they did. A few of them survived. And one of the pilots that was there is that same frickin' pilot from all the seasons of Mandalorian. You guys are going to have to let me know in the comments below what you guys are thinking about this show, because so far I've absolutely been loving it. I think it's the best Star Wars stuff that they've done in the Disney Plus era. And man, like, look, I know there's people that aren't going to like the show, and that's fine, but I think for the fans of Star Wars Rebels, for people who really loved that show, I think This show really is Star Wars Rebels Season 5. I was kind of thinking about it after I got done watching this episode because, you know, I was chatting about it, but the idea that after the Ahsoka series, we may not have any more Star Wars content for a little bit, you know, like unless they do Bad Batch Season 3. But I'm not sure whether or not that's actually confirmed to be still going or if that's going to be delayed along with everything else. Like, I don't know. But I will say this much, if this is all we get, if this is the last Star Wars content that we get for a little bit, then I'm completely satisfied. This show has been incredible. And I think it's only going to get better from here. We still got to see what's going to go on with Anakin and Ahsoka. We have yet to see Thrawn, so very curious to see what happens when he enters the fold. We've yet to see Ezra, because I want to see him and Sabine reunite. I'm very excited to see the future of this show. And they've pretty much revealed everything in the trailers at this point, so whatever is left, like, we don't know much about, so I am so happy about that. The less I know, the better. But I believe that is going to wrap us up for today, you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching this. Thank you all for your continued support of my channel. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, share this video with others to help support the channel, and I will see you guys next time.